You ever have one of those mornings where the world just looks different? Where the marble under your feet shines a little too bright, and the air feels loaded with possibility like you're stepping into a movie, not your own life. That was me, Ethan Vale, walking through JFK's private terminal with Sierra on my arm. Sierra, in her white jumpsuit and sunglasses, laughing too loud at my half-hearted jokes. God, the way she could put on a show, you'd think she was born for the front row. Everything about that place screamed money, privacy, escape. Even the staff barely looked up. Jets lined up outside, engines humming, velvet ropes and designer perfume in the air. "Jet's ready, Mr. Vale," the concierge nodded. All smiles. Like the world was my concierge, you know what I mean? I leaned over to Sierra. "Next stop, Capri." No headlines, no cell service, just us. She smiled back, but her hand trembled on my sleeve, just a flicker, maybe nerves, maybe guilt, or maybe both. We made it to the end of the hallway, and there it was, my G700 waiting on the tarmac like a secret, doors open, engines soft as a lullaby. I could already taste the freedom. That's the thing about freedom, everyone wants it, but no one tells you how much it'll cost. Right then, the loudspeaker crackled, "Mrs. Eleanor Vale, please report to Gate C." Like a knife in silk. Sierra froze. My foot hovered above the stairs. "You heard that, right?" she whispered. "Yeah, I heard it. My wife, Eleanor, she wasn't supposed to be here. Not today, not ever." We kept moving, but my steps felt wrong, like I was walking on broken glass. And then TSA steps in, badge out, unreadable face. "Mr. Vale, I'm going to have to ask you to wait a moment." That's when it really hit me. No one tells a man like me to wait. Not anymore. Now, let me back up a sec. Because 2 days earlier, in our penthouse, everything was so quiet you could hear the hum of the city 30 floors below. Eleanor, my wife, sitting there in her robe, hand on her pregnant belly, watching the sun crawl across the floor. But her eyes, they're far away. My iPad buzzed 5:47 a.m., but I didn't hear it. She did. "Don't forget the white dress. Capri is waiting. I am too." The kind of message that changes the temperature in a room, you know? She opens the thread, weeks of messages. Lies. Cruelty. A different life, me life laid out in blue bubbles. She could have cried. She didn't. She just got up, put the iPad down like it was a bomb she disarmed, and walked toward the bedroom, tightening her grip on her phone. By 8, she's meeting Margot Greer, a PI, tough as nails. "You want me to follow him?" Margot asks. "No." Eleanor says. "I want to know how long, where, and if she's done this before." Cold as ice. Not the first wife Margot's worked with, but I doubt many had to do it pregnant. Back home, I came down the stairs, smiling, ready for my Alibi San Francisco investor summit, just 2 nights. She told me safe flight, smiled, let me kiss her forehead. "Text me when you land," she said. Sweet, right? I left, never looking back. But Eleanor stood at the window until my car turned the corner, her hand tied on the glass. That night, she lay in bed alone. Then a text from Margot. "They're flying to JFK. Final destination, Capri." You were right. She opened her laptop, labeled something, "Emergency Financial Intervention." The cursor blinked like a heartbeat. Fast forward, Eleanor at JFK, hood up, face set. Ticket in her maiden name, nerves of steel. She's not hiding, she's hunting. At the same time, Sierra's in the VIP lounge with me, playing her part, but glancing over her shoulder, haunted by old ghosts of Miami X, bruises, lies. Secrets are currency in our world, hers, mine, even my assistant Jared's. Jared's in the Terminal 2, folder of forged travel docs, checking his phone. He knows something's up. This isn't a vacation. This is a clean break. Sierra wanders to the bathroom, stares in the mirror, sees a woman who's always the secret, never the main story. Her phone vibrates, unknown number, Capri. One word, enough to make her heart race. For the first time, she's not sure who's really winning. Meanwhile, Eleanor visits a grave in the Rain Amelia Rhodes Vale, her sister. "You either leave the man, or you make him regret staying," Amelia once said. But Ethan Vale was a different breed. The control didn't start with cheating, it was questions, doubts, bank cards disappearing, her name off the deeds. He never yelled, never hit. Just wore her down with jokes and corrections. The world loved him, Forbes cover and all. Even when she cried, people said, "You're so lucky, he's a genius." She stopped pushing back. But she started planning. Locked herself in the study, started a diary. If anything happens to me, check this first. Names, dates, transactions. Then she emailed her lawyer temporary asset freeze. But she didn't send it yet. Instead, she stood in the nursery, whispered to her unborn child, "You'll know the truth someday, but you won't grow up afraid of him. I promise." Next morning, Eleanor's at JFK, her documents in a satchel, her heart pounding steady. Margot's surveillance package arrives, videos, time-stamped. Ethan and Sierra in hotel bars, airports, beaches. No shame, no secret side was already gone. Eleanor closes the laptop, signs legal papers, executes the freeze. She packs only what matters: passport, charger, diary, footage. Before leaving, she touches the mobile in the nursery, promises to return only when she has control. Terminal B, Eleanor checks in, thanks to Margot's contacts. Her sea-clear view of the jet. She waits, sips tea. Across the glass, Sierra's in the lounge, restless, watched by a stranger with a stroller, maybe real, maybe just a warning from the universe. Sierra flees to the bathroom again, memory sharp as a knife. Another man, another escape. Back in the lounge, her phone buzzes. Capri. She stares at Ethan, finally afraid of what he might do to keep his secrets. Now, at the terminal, Eleanor's not alone. Her lawyer, Graham, hands her the envelope: restraining order, travel interference, custody clause. No spectacle, just control. Officer Delgado waits by Gate C. Eleanor hands over the envelope, calm, efficient. The man boarding that jet cannot leave U.S. soil with a pregnant spouse under custody proceedings. The officer nods, steps away. Across the terminal, Ethan's name is called again: Mrs. Eleanor Vale, please report to Gate C. He freezes. Sierra looks at him expectant, then uneasy. Eleanor stands, walks forward, coat trailing, face clear, hand on her belly, a dare and a promise. "You're not taking my child across any border," she says, voice soft but final. Sierra blinks. Ethan tries to talk. "You don't have to do this here." Eleanor interrupts. "You did it when you lied, when you hid money, when you tried to disappear with our child." Sierra snaps to attention. "Wait, what?" Ethan tries to protest, but the restraining order is real. The TSA agents are closing in. Security approaches. Sierra steps back, realization dawning. Ethan mutters, "I was trying to protect us." Eleanor's eyes are cold. "No, you were trying to disappear, and she was just your distraction." The agent steps up. "Mr. Vale, please come with us." Ethan blusters, threatens lawsuits, but no one flinches. Sierra, mascara smudged, picks up her clutch and walks away done. Phone starts snapping photos. The whole terminal humming with gossip. "My jet, my pride, left on the tarmac, doors open, but I'm not going anywhere." Eleanor sits, serene, hands folded, not gloating, just finished. Outside, the media is already there. She steps up to the microphones at her lawyer's firm. Press, bloggers, all of them hungry. Silence is how people like my husband stay powerful. Silence is how damage continues unchecked, she says, holding up documents, the proof of everything. It's not revenge, it's protection, for herself, her child, and anyone else watching. Within hours, the news explodes. Ethan Vale suspended, company in crisis. Sierra, alone in a hotel, watches the news, her name never mentioned. She leaves quietly, hood up, anonymous. Back at her new apartment, Eleanor breathes for the first time. Her phone buzzes, messages from strangers, gratitude, solidarity. She weeps not for what's lost, but for what she's found, her voice. She closes her diary. "He tried to erase me, but this child is proof I was never invisible." Outside, Manhattan glows violet and gold, and Eleanor no longer a pawn. Not just the survivors, it's quietly, finally at peace. But you tell Mua's at justice, or just another powerful man taken down by the truth? Where's the line between protection and revenge, control and survival? I want to know, what would you have done? Leave a comment. Let's talk about where you think justice begins and where it really ends.